is now very much part of what I do. I mean, the product hits the, as you know, I mean, the 24-hour news culture the way it is now. By the time the newspaper comes out the next morning, most people already know what's happened. So the job of the paper is to put really like a second-day lead on a first-day story to move the story forward and explain to people why it matters. So now I'm living most of my life online. Probably 60% of my time is spent generating content and coverage for the web. So it's, I mean, fundamentally changed the way I think. I mean, putting aside even the social media stuff, but at least blogging, for talking about that, has fundamentally changed the way we all do our job. It's very much cross-platform now. It's funny, like the tweets from the quotes, say from a House debate, for instance, the quotations from lawmakers then serve as the basis for the quotations that go into the blog posts. And more often than not, the blog posts serve as the skeleton for the story that makes its way into the paper the next day. So it all sort of, again, it sort of all exists on a continuum, I think. I mean, one of the things that social media and blogging has done is really knocked down the walls between sort of traditional media, like newspapers or radio or television, and citizen journalists. I don't think it's going to be a world without newspapers. I mean, I think the product will transform in some way. I mean, the newspapers I enjoy reading the most online are those that I can actually swipe with my fingers so I can turn the page, and it actually looks like a scanned edition of that day's newspaper. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. The function that I perform, which is the gathering of random assortments of facts and opinions and that kind of stuff, and then shaping them into a coherent narrative for consumption a half an hour's time after I write the story, or the following morning, or 2 hours later, or whatever. I don't think that's going to go away. People who proclaim the death of journalism, I think, are unusually nihilistic. The product will change. The method under which we do our jobs will change. But I don't think the actual thing, occupation, will disappear. When I write on the blog, or when I tweet something, I bring to that the same sets of rules and assumptions that I have when I do my job for the newspaper. I don't see it as any different. Like there's not a different set of ground rules for blogging. There's not a different set of blog rules or set of rules rather for tweeting. You don't tweet anything that you know to be wrong. You don't tweet anything that's poorly sourced. You don't blog anything that's poorly sourced. The same sets of rules that enable me to do my job as a journalist enable me to work within this new medium as well.